The Atlanta Braves stay hot over the weekend, getting a 4-game sweep of the Pirates. I'll give you all the highlights from that series. Also, we'll give you our weekly minor league prospects update, including some stock up, stock down for your Atlanta Braves prospects, and set you up for their series with the Nats at the beginning of this week. All of that on today's episode of Lockedon Braves. So let's get into it.
You are Locked On Braves, your daily Atlanta Braves podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, and welcome back to Locked On Braves, part of Locked On Sports Atlanta, where we cover your favorite Atlanta sports teams each and every day. I am your host, Jake Mastroianni. You can follow me on Twitter at shortstopball. Check out my bio there to see where I am covering the game of baseball, including the Atlanta Braves in written form over at tomahawktake.com. Also cover college baseball for College Baseball Nation, and hopefully you took my advice and enjoyed some of the super regional action over the weekend and looked at some of those top prospects in the upcoming draft. Couple more games on Monday night as well. Also, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at LockedOn_Braves, where you can be part of the conversation. Send in any questions, comments, feedback that you have for the episode. I really appreciate you sending those in. And thanks for making Locked On Braves your first listen each and every day. We post episodes daily, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and are free and available on all platforms. Also, you want to get the postcast with me and Grant McCauley after just about every Atlanta Braves game, you can subscribe to the Locked On at Sports Atlanta YouTube page, and also you'll get that on the Locked On Braves podcast feed. Before we get into today's episode, I want to remind you that it is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline, where the game starts. Where we're starting today is the weekend for the Atlanta Braves, where they continued their winning ways, pushing their winning streak to 11 games. We'll talk about that and some of the key moments from the weekend's games, and then we will give you our weekly prospect update, looking at the top prospects in the Braves system. We're going to play a little stock up, stock down with that as well, and then we'll set you up for this upcoming series with the Nats. But let's start with the weekend, and what a weekend it was for the Atlanta Braves. They continue to win games. Again, 11 in a row, a 4-game sweep of the Pirates. They've now swept 2 4-game series in part of this winning streak. They've yet to lose a game in June, as I actively knock on my wood desk here. 17-6 in this stretch of games against teams under 500. They've already done better in this stretch than I hoped that they would, and they got 6 more games in this stretch, 3 against the Nats, 3 against the Cubs this week. So just an unbelievable stretch for the Braves, a stretch that they had to have to get back in the race, not just for the NL East, but for the wild card as well, where they currently are in a playoff spot because of the Brewers' recent run of losing in games while the Braves have been hot. Again, it's what the Braves had to do. We talked about it coming into this stretch, and they've delivered. Look, they're going up against bad competition, but they're taking care of business. Again, it's some of the theme that I keep talking about. They're taking care of business, beating teams that they should be beating. And look, this Pirates team, again, we talked about it going in. They're a tough team, and I think you saw that in all 4 of these games. 3 of them decided by 2 runs, and if not for a grand slam from Ozzie on Saturday, all 4 of them could have been decided by 2 runs, and the Braves had to come back in that game on Saturday. So this Pirates team, a bit pesky, probably a little bit more trouble than a lot of people thought coming into the year. So give them a lot of credit. But let's break down the 3 games over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday, Spencer Strider has his best start of the year by far. 5 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk, no earned, 8 strikeouts. Could have gotten through 6th inning. Tough play for Ozzie. Not an error for sure, but I think a play that he'll tell you he should have made. And Spencer Strider would have gotten through 6 innings. I think the biggest key for me in that start for Strider is that he was still, 95, 96, 97, in those 5th and 6th innings there. So that's very encouraging. You can't expect him to throw 100, through all out 6 innings, 5 innings, but to be able to still be throwing that hard and be that effective late into the start. Certainly an encouraging sign there. I thought he was inefficient, thought he was in control. Only one walk, another big key for me after he walked 5 his last time out. So just a great start from him. 18 swings and misses in the game, 11 of them on the four-seam fastball. He had got 9 swings on his slider. 6 of them were whiffs. So that just tells you the Pirates hitters were having trouble with him all day long. On the offensive side in this game, got a big home run from Dansby Swanson off the foul pole. You had Acuna on first and Harris on third. Acuna gets thrown out at second with the fielder blocking the bag there, which a bit of a pet peeve for me. Start going in feet first, and they'll stop doing that. But you thought maybe Braves weren't going to get anything out of that inning, and then Dansby comes up with a big hit, as he has a lot throughout this run, and a big 2-run homer in that one. Michael Harris had a couple of hits in that game, including a double. He walked, scored a couple of runs. 9-1 and 2 hitters. Harris, Acuna, Swanson had 7 of the team's 10 hits in the game on Friday. So they certainly got the job done, along with Spencer Strider on the mound. Saturday, I already kind of mentioned it. Big comeback in this game. We thought maybe the streak was going to end, but they scored 8 runs in the 7th inning, all while I was driving to go get the pizza on Saturday. I should have stayed in the car longer, but 8 runs in the 7th inning, highlighted by that grand slam from Ozzie that I mentioned earlier. Charlie Morton in this game, final line, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 earned, 12 strikeouts. It's a very strong line for him. Some of the same struggles we've seen for Charlie, though. Those first inning struggles, gave up 2 solo homers in the first inning. 5th inning, he hits a batter with that back foot slider that keeps hitting the back foot. His 8th hit batter of the year, that comes around to score on a back-to-back doubles from Brian Reynolds and Ke'Bryan Hayes, who just lit up the Braves in this series, the Pirates' best hitters, and they were on display in this series. So overall, thought it was a solid outing. Again, still that first inning giving him trouble. Hitting batters, obviously causing him some trouble as well, but 12 strikeouts, obviously his season high. So I thought it was, a great or a solid start. I wouldn't call it a great start for Charlie Morton. Still need to see more of that from him. But again, I thought it was a solid start. Certainly not a step back, but I don't know that I'd necessarily call it a step forward either. But certainly with the 12 strikeouts, that curveball seemed to be working. I would call those encouraging signs. Acuna and Riley homered in the first inning to answer the 2 solo shots by the Pirates in the top half of the first inning. That tied the game up. The Pirates had taken the lead in the 4th inning, 4-2, before the Braves had that 8-run 7th inning. Some of the highlights in that 7th inning: Michael Harris had a clutch RBI single up the middle, made it 4-3. Dansby cleared the bases with a bloop single that scored 3 runs batted in. If you haven't seen Acuna running first to third on that play yet, you need to go back. I know Mark Bowman tweeted it out the other day. Go back and check that out. But that gave the Braves a 6-4 lead. But they didn't stop there, loaded the bases. The Pirates intentionally walked Matt Olson to get to Ozzie, and Ozzie hits the grand slam to put the game on ice, make it for an exciting Saturday afternoon. And that was huge. With that grand slam was huge because Snitker got to save the bullpen, and you didn't have to use Minter. You didn't have to use Jansen. That would come in big when we get to Sunday's game. In Sunday's game, you had 4 solo home runs by the Braves. You had Contreras and Duvall going deep in the 2nd inning, Duvall again in the 3rd inning, and then Olson in the 8th inning, which was a big insurance run. And that was after falling behind 0-2, took a pitch down and in on a 3-2 count and drove it out to center field. A really impressive bat by Matt Olson. That gave the Braves some breathing room there late in the game. Duvall, 2 for 3, 2 runs, 3 RBI on the day for Sunday. Overall in June, he's hitting .278. He's not walking, not really getting on base a ton, but at least the average is coming up. 4 multi-hit games, 3 doubles, 4 home runs, 10 strikeouts and 36 at-bats. Still not great, but at least you're starting to see the bat heat up a little bit, see that average start to creep up, which again, I think has a lot to do with him just settling into a corner outfield spot where he's more comfortable and where there's less pressure on him defensively. So hopefully that's a good sign for Adam Duvall that we're going to start seeing him heat up some. Kyle Wright on Sunday, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 earned, 7 strikeouts. A quality start from Kyle Wright. Only threw 79 pitches, very efficient in this one, even with the 2 walks. The first run did score because of a walk. Then he gave up a 2-run homer to, again, Brian Reynolds, who was slumping coming into this series. He is not slumping going out of it. He absolutely crushed the Braves this weekend, but 2-run homer to Brian Reynolds on a fastball in that was a perfect pitch. It's just a really good hitter who was starting to heat up, made a great swing and barely kept it in fair, just before the right field foul pole there. So again, I thought it was a very quality start, good start from Kyle Wright. Maybe not his best with the 2 walks, but I thought it was a very good start for Kyle Wright, and the Braves get the 5-3 victory on Sunday to complete the sweep of the Pirates and keep their winning streak intact. All right, next we'll shift gears and talk about the prospects, and we'll play a little market up and down with the Braves prospects. We'll do that next. Our next partner has a product I use literally every day. I started taking Athletic Greens because I wanted better gut health. As I get older, that's something that I struggle with every day, and Athletic Greens One has worked wonders for me. With 1 delicious scoop of Athletic Greens, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help you start your day right. This special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It's cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself. You're investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. Athletic Greens was created when the founder experienced a ton of gut health issues and ended up on a complicated supplement routine to recover. It cost him $100 a day. So he created Athletic Greens after experiencing this difficulty. And right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. I do it every morning, and that's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB network. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/MLB network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. It's our weekly prospect report, and I want to start making this a little bit more interactive with you, the fan. I've started now every week going over my top 10 prospects, but I want to kind of make this a vote up-down situation as we have the Braves' top 10 prospects. I want you to comment on Twitter, on YouTube. Let me know who you think should be in my top 10 and who you should vote out. So, for instance, if you think, I have Darius Vines in here at number 9, you think it's time to vote him out as he's been struggling lately, let me know. And who do you think he should be replaced with? So I want to make this an interactive segment with you coming up with the top 10. If there's a player in my top 10 you think needs to be voted out, let me know, and let me know who you should replace them with. And then whoever gets the most comments or whoever gets the most likes, whichever comment gets the most likes, we will make that move and we will insert that player into the top 10. So again, want to make this an interactive segment with you and have a little stock up and down each week. So let me know who you think should be voted out, who should replace them in the comments on Twitter and on YouTube. But for this week, going to go with my top 10 that I have here, and I've left Michael Harris off the list, even though he's technically still a prospect. I've left him off this week, but that moves Drew Waters to the top, and he had a pretty solid week this past week. 6 for 20, a triple, a homer overall in the season, 272, 311, 447, 4 homers, 21 runs, 11 runs batted in, 6 walks, 35 strikeouts, and a stolen base. Vaughn Grissom this past week, just 4 for 17, did have a home run, 3 runs, 2 RBIs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, pretty high for him, and a caught stealing. On the season, 261, 358, 397, 33 runs, 28 RBIs, 6 home runs, just 1 short of his total from last year already in the home run department, 22 walks, 32 strikeouts, and 11 stolen bases. So kind of doing it all from Vaughn Grissom, as you would expect. Freddie Tarnok pitched started 2 games this week. I'm not really sure what was going on there. I tried to do a little research to find out why he started 2 games and didn't go very long in those outings. In total this past week, he pitched 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 4 walks, 1 earned, 6 strikeouts, In his first start, 2 innings, 2 hits, a walk, no earned, and 4 Ks. And then in his second one, just 2/3 of an inning, a hit, 3 walks, an earned run, and 2 strikeouts. On the season, a 5.62 ERA, 41 2/3 innings pitched, 22 walks, 44 strikeouts, 2.48 average against, and a 1.49 whip for Freddie Tarnok. Jared Schuster, who I think by far has been one of the best pitchers in the Braves system this year, had a good start this past week. 6 innings, 4 hits, no walks, 2 earned, and 4 strikeouts. On the year, a 3.02 ERA, 0.94 whip, 56 2/3 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts, a 191 batting average again. So again, very good year for Jared Schuster. Kyle Muller, he's been solid as well at Gwinnett. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, still too many walks there. 1 run not earned, and 9 strikeouts overall this season for Muller at AAA Gwinnett. 3.09 ERA, 1.27 whip, 55 1/3 innings, 73 strikeouts, 2.39 average again. So again, very solid work there for Kyle Muller. Bryce Elder, just 4 2/3 in his last start, 9 hits, 2 walks, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts, a 5.66 ERA, but a 1.19 whip, which is very good. 41 1/3 innings, 41 strikeouts, just a 2.19 at batting average against. Again, I keep saying it, the walks are the big thing for Bryce Elder. Got to limit those, but 9 hits in his last outing, not great either. Braden Shoemake, a good week this past week, 6 for 18, 2 doubles and a stolen base. He's now hitting 266 on the year, 320 on base, 382 slugging, 3 homers, 25 runs, 10 runs batted in, 15 walks to 32 strikeouts, and 5 stolen bases. AJ Smith-Shawver was back this week. Didn't pitch last week. Had a good outing. Had 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned, and 7 strikeouts. 4.66 ERA on the year, 1.42 whip, 38 2/3 innings, 62 strikeouts, but 24 walks. Obviously, got to limit those walks and just a 2.12 batting average again. So again, another pitcher. If he starts to limit those walks, I think we really see AJ Smith-Shawver take off. Darius Vines, just 3 innings pitched this last week, 8 hits, 1 walk, 7 earned runs, 5 strikeouts. Not a good outing for him. A 5.30 ERA on the year, 1.42 whip, 54 1/3 innings, 70 strikeouts. So he's punching out plenty, but batters are hitting 277 against him. And then newly added to my top 10, I put in Andrew Hoffman this week. This past week, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, no walks, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts. So a solid start. But overall in the year for Andrew Hoffman, 2.89 ERA, 1.16 whip, 56 innings, 65 strikeouts, just 14 walks, 2.42 average again. So that's my top 10. Again, let me know who you think should be booted out and who should replace them in the comments. Going quickly through some of the teams and top performances from each team. Tucker Davidson had a good start for Gwinnett this past week. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 3 earned, and 11 strikeouts. At Mississippi, C.J. Alexander, 6 for 22 at the plate, 2 doubles and a homer and a stolen base. Tanner Gordon, 7-inning complete game, 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned, and 7 strikeouts. And Justin Macy, 2 innings, no hits, no walks, no earned, 5 strikeouts and a save. I mentioned him last week as well. Very good closer there for the Mississippi Braves. For Rome, Cody Milligan was 6 for 19. Not a great week offensively for Rome. Royber Salinas, 6 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned, and 6 strikeouts on the mound. Dylan Dodd, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 1 earned, and 5 strikeouts. And then finally at Augusta, where it did have some good offensive performances this past week, Geraldo Quintero, 20-year-old shortstop or infielder out of Venezuela, 11 for 26, 3 doubles, 4 stolen bases. And then Brindal Mesquita, who I've mentioned several times on here already, 20-year-old outfielder from the Dominican Republic, 10 for 23 this past week, 4 doubles, a triple, and a stolen base, batting .318 on the year with a .388 on-base percentage, .438 slugging with 11 doubles, 3 triples, and 2 home runs. Cal Conley drove in 6 runs this past week. Caleb Durbin was 9 for 27, 8 runs scored, 6 runs batted in, 6 walks, and 4 stolen bases. And on the mound at Augusta, you had Giordano Perez, 6 innings, 3 hits, no walks, no earned, and 6 strikeouts in his lone start. And J.J. Necro, another good performance, 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, no earned, just 1 strikeout, but getting the job done. So that is your weekly minor league report. Again, let me know who you think should join the top 10 and who should be voted out. And the comment that gets the most likes, we will insert that player into our top 10 for next week. All right, after the break, we will preview the Nats series and how the Braves continue this win streak and what they have to do. We'll discuss that next. BetOnline.net is your number one source for all your betting stats and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, news, and odds, including this year's NBA Finals, the NHL Finals as well going on, Major League Baseball, and of course, all the fighting news from MMA and UFC to boxing. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, including live betting, esports, and more. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. The Atlanta Braves are on an 11-game win streak, and they have 6 more games in this stretch against teams below 500 that continues on Monday as they start a 3-game series against the Washington Nationals. And they'll have an off day on Thursday, so be thinking about your questions for our mailbag episode on Friday. And then they'll face 3 against the Cubs before the competition starts to pick up. But previewing this Nats series, the Nats took 2 out of 3 against the struggling Brewers this past weekend. But before that, they were swept by the Marlins in a 3-game series. They're 17th in the league in OPS, 30th in ERA. However, Braves are going to face a couple of good pitchers in this series. They have Josiah Gray going up against Ian Anderson on Monday. We could see Steven Strasburg as well, who made his return this past week. Didn't go great for him, but he's got it in there, and he could certainly turn it on at any point. Obviously, a little rusty coming back, so maybe a good time to get Steven Strasburg. But looking at Monday's matchup against Ian Anderson and Josiah Gray, just simply put, Josiah Gray's been a better pitcher this year than Ian Anderson. 6-4, 4.33 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, 62 in a third inning, 69 strikeouts. In his last 3 starts, he's gone 16 innings, giving up 11 hits, but 8 walks, only 2 earned runs, and 18 strikeouts. So Josiah Gray has been very good in his recent starts. Braves have seen him a couple times, and he's given the Braves problems. So could be a tough game for the Braves on Monday. And then you look at Ian Anderson. He's gone 6 innings in 4 of his last 5 starts, which is great. And in his other one that he didn't go 6 innings, he went 5 2/3. So it's great to see Ian Anderson, starting to go deeper into games, but it's kind of the opposite of Charlie Morton. Ian Anderson can be very good early on, and then the second and third time through the lineup is where you see things start to go wrong for Ian Anderson. A 5.06 ERA in the third inning when you're typically facing the top or middle of the order for a second time, and then an 11.57 ERA in the 6th inning when you're facing those batters for a third time. So I think this could be a very difficult game for the Braves on Monday. Hopefully they are able to keep their winning streak alive. At the very least, just want to see them win each of these series. Even if they don't get the sweeps, if the winning streak ends, I just want to see them win these series. So hopefully they get off to a good start against Josiah Gray and the Nats on Monday. And hopefully Ian Anderson has a very good start to give the Braves a chance to do just that. But that will do it for this episode of Locked On Braves. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @LockedOn_Braves. You can follow me at Shortstop Ball. Also, make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcast, and we will talk to you next time.